All right, guys, we'll give it a minute to let everybody join. Okay, let's see here. All right. All right, let's get started here. Sorry for getting on late. Um, had some technical difficulties. Power went out a little bit, then got back on, and had to set it all up, set my computer back up because it had the hard shutdown and everything. But let's get started. All right, so what are we looking at? So we've been in a drop zone ever since that area right here, right? We said this was the time to get puts right here. Okay, this was the time to get puts. And we dropped, came down. Okay, we almost hit that 4,800 right there on ES. Almost hit that area. We bottomed around here. We bottomed around here, that 5,000 area. Okay, and then we saw volume come in. We saw volume come in here. Saw some volume. We saw some heavy volume here. Then we saw big volume come in here. Then we seen some more volume here, and then we saw pretty good volume right here. And yet today we had pretty good volume as well. So really high volume in this area. Okay, so this 5,000 area wanted to be defended. I mean, we almost got to 4,800, but that 5,000 area wanted to hold. Got defended. We had broken down out of the channel. Okay, and then we jumped right back into the channel. All right, and then today we held that channel. And after hours, we are continuing to hold that channel and holding that 5,257. Okay, so that channel there is, we're back inside of it. Now, of course, it's a bearish channel, right? So we're going down in that channel. Okay, so we're going down in that channel. Okay, let me take some of these off so we can see it a little bit better. Okay. Okay. So we dropped out of that channel, held that 5,000 area, came back in, holding that channel now. Okay. Now we're continuously holding this channel. So above this 52-57 area, you're going to hold that channel still. And I think we're going to push up. I think we're setting up a little bull flag here, and we're going to push up. Now, if we lose 52-57, then, we got issues, And if we lose 5,100, we got bigger issues. And if we lose that 5,000, we got really big issues. Okay, then we're definitely going to 4,800. All right, so if we go to the monthly, we can see this channel here lost. Okay, we almost were coming to that 50 SMA. Okay, and we held this area, and we're right here. So if we could get 53.38 or 58.39 better by tomorrow, we're gonna be holding that 20 SMA on the monthly. Okay, and if that happens, that's good. That's good for bulls. Okay, now we go to the weekly. We can see we had that consolidation that we broke out of. Okay, we hit all those targets, right? We hit these targets down here. This 1 and 2 target, we exceeded it, came down to 5,000. Now we're holding the 100 SMA. Okay, now in order for this week to be a reversal and looking good for next week, because we do got a squeeze firing down and we are coming down. In order for this to be a nice reversal, we need to get above that 53. 53. Let me see here. 53.39. 53.39. Is that what I said? 53.39. Yeah. If we want to see a reversal here, we actually just need to get above 53.33. Yeah, we need to close above 53.33 this week. 53.39 would be even better on ES, but 53.33 would be just fine. Okay, if we get above that 53.33, that's easy. We're almost there right now. It's only 100 points. But if we get even more, that's beautiful. I would love to see us get back over to 54.30 and maybe even higher. If we gap down, like it looks like we're going to, it's acting like. If we gap down, it'd be beautiful if we end up at 5,500 or 5,505, 5,503. So 5,503, 5,503 or better. Okay, I would love to see 5,547, but 5,503 is okay. That would be a nice bullish engulfing, and we'll end the week where we ended yesterday, and that's perfectly fine because that's any setup for next week. Okay, as long as we hold that 52, 57, we're good into tomorrow. Okay, we lose that and we lose that 51.75. We're in trouble. We're going to 5,100. We lose that, we're in trouble. We're going to 5,000. We lose that, we're in trouble. Okay. So far right now, we look good. We look good that we're pushing up, holding where we need to hold. Okay. On ES. Okay, so we do have that little downtrend here. So we're going to need to break that little downtrend. Okay, because if not, we form this little downtrending channel. We hold up here, we break through, we get up above that 53.33. We got a good chance to come back over here to 55.30 and have that little V right there. Okay, RSI needs to get back above that 50, and right now it's holding this downward channel. So we wanna maintain this support right here at that 52.24. Okay, at least we like it better above 52.57. But if not, we want to chop around, break through. We'll go to that 53.33, and then we get back above there. We'll be going to 54.30, and then we get past that. We go 55 or 54.48. I mean 54.48, 54.85, and then from there we go 55.40. Okay, and if we somehow, some way break through all that, we go higher. Okay. Now, tomorrow is a JP Morgan earnings, so that's gonna be a factor. That one's gonna happen tomorrow before the open close. I mean before the open. So, whatever that's gonna say, I mean, I think if it's down, I think I think we'll pop back up and we'll be saved. I really do. I really do think the bottom is in right here. Um, but you know, if it's good, you know, it might be a really good day, and we get to 55.50. You know, and if it's a really good day, we get to 56.50. Okay, but I don't know if we're gonna break that downtrend yet. Okay, we might do that next week. But what if we do break this downtrend, either this week or next week? What we're gonna be eyeing is 57.63. That's going to be where our moving averages are going to be, and where our previous rejection was. Okay, so if we do a little V recovery here, that would be great. Okay, and then we're gonna have to set up. Maybe we'll set up a little inverse head and shoulders there, and then set up to go higher again. But as of right now, you know, that's what we're looking at on ES, at least. On ES. Okay, so same thing goes for SPY. Okay, so SPY. Let's see here. All right, so SPY. So SPY is almost at the 20 SMA at 529.50. Okay, so if we could get above 529.50 by tomorrow, then that'd be great. That'd be great. Why? Because that's where the 20 SMA monthly is. You know, of course, at the end of the month, does that matter? No, it doesn't. As long as we get back above that, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. You know, SPY came back and it touched the previous high barely. Let me see, the high is 479.98. This is 481.80. So it didn't touch the high, but it got very near it, which is a good thing because we don't want it to touch this previous high. We don't want it to touch this previous high because that's a bad thing. Then we would probably go down. Okay, so it hasn't touched that previous high. So the previous high is pretty much 480. And this was 481.80, the low. So we're $2 away from, $2 away from hitting that, and luckily we didn't. Okay, so we get back above that 530 this week. That'd be great. Okay, now here we get back above, the 530. We have a nice reversal pattern, a piercing line reversal on the weekly. If we could get to 530 this week, or close above 530, 529.60 is the exact point, but 530 basically. If we could get above that this week, that's gonna set up for a nice next week. Now, if we could get above 550 this week, that's gonna be a nice, huge bullish engulfing candle. And you know that's going to set up for a nice week, you know, next week as well, and it would really identify the strength in the market, suggesting that we're going to go higher and then break those highs. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, so we're looking for 530 this week. All right, 530. Now we're not out of this yet, right? We have this downtrending channel. And let me take some of these things off. Okay. All right. So we have this downtrending channel. We lost it. We hit our level of 487 that we were targeting. Okay, we hit that one clean. We hit a 481. Okay, we held that area. We bottomed here. We saw the volume come in. Saw the volume. The RSI is not above. It's not above 50 yet. It hit that 50 and came back down. But you know, we had this big bullish engulfing. Hit right on 549.50, right on the dot, basically. well, it's at 548.60, a dollar away from that. And then we gap down. Okay, there's probably a lot of profit taken there. Gap down, and then we held this 523.23. Okay, we held that. That's the daily support. Okay, that's the daily support. It's holding. Okay, if we get below 514.42, that's bearish. We get back below 510, that's bearish. We get below 507, that's extremely bearish. And we're going to come back down and revisit these lows. Now, if that doesn't happen, and we continue on, we hold that 523.23, and we push through 535. You know, all we need is to do is close above 530. Okay, that's it. This week, that's it. 530. No, nothing. It doesn't need to be higher than that. But if we could push through 535, you know, we could come back to 543 and say 548. Okay, but the goal is to hold above that 523.30, and then set up to push. Okay, let's see that hourly. Okay, so here we see the hourly, same kind of action. We got that downtrend. Okay, we got some support right there at that 517 area. Okay, we don't want to go below 514.42, and we don't want to go below 507. Okay, we want to stay above this 523. After hours is down a little bit, but you know, and nothing's going to happen until we get those earnings out. So it doesn't matter what after hours says or does or it looks like. It's all that you count upon that earnings call. I don't even care about the earnings. It's all about that earnings call. That earnings call is going to identify what's going to happen, what Jamie Dimon thinks is going to happen, because his words always affect the market. He's supposed to be the number one manager in the world, right? The number one banking manager. So his thoughts on what's going to happen in the ongoing environment, what is looking good, what's looking bad, what the effects are, all those things in the earnings call are going to be affecting on the market. And you know, I have a hunch, you know, I have a feeling that it's going to be good, and we're going to go up, but we'll see. I mean, if we do go down, we don't have that much room in this channel. We go to 464. 464, maybe 460, and then we turn around. Because if we lose this, if we lose 455, then you know, this one's going down hard, going down real hard, and I don't think that's gonna happen in this. I mean, we'll see, but considering how everything's going and how the market's reacting currently, I think this area right here where all this volume is going to be a area of that it's defending. It's defending this level. You see all the volume there. You know, we have low volume, and then we have big volume. Every time we have a big area of volume, you know, that's usually a sign of a defense, especially on the downside. You know, same thing with the top side. You know, we had some big volume over here, and then low volume over here, bigger volume over here, and then we drop down. Here we got huge volume over here. So I still think we got a good chance to run it up still. So that's what we got to look at. We want to close above 530 by tomorrow. Anything above that is just extra. And if we get back, if we get over 549, you know, that's huge. That's huge. Okay, that's huge. But if we do get past 549, our targets would be 556 and 565. Okay. So that is a SPY. All right, Qs. Let's grab the Qs here. All right, the Qs. The Qs have been recovering pretty well as well. We're right here at 446. We want to get it above 552 by tomorrow. Let me see. 552. 552. Yeah. Well, I mean, where we are right now is fine. If we close at 446 this week, that will still set up for a nice reversal. Okay, for next week, it's still a piercing line reversal here, but if we get to 462, if we get to 462, that's gonna assign a huge positive for this week into next week. So if we get to 462, if we get 20 more points higher than we are now, that's going to be huge for the rally into next week. So Qs, would love to see it 446. I mean 462. If we do that, we got a bullish engulfing here, a huge reversal, and then we'll have to see what next week brings for that. But we want to see. We want to see anything above 446. 446 is great. You know, if we get above 462, that's huge. Okay? Huge. Okay, now for the daily, you know, we're still in a downtrend. Okay, we still got all this volume here. Our size below 50. Okay, we have that little we have that rejection there. So we have rejected there. Okay, and then we're here making a little cup and handle there on the R side. So that could be really good, especially with all this volume coming in. Okay. So now, here we are. We lost that channel. Okay, we almost touched that first target. We were off by $2, and then it came back inside. Okay, and then held this 417 level. Huge pop to the 20 SMA. 20 SMA's 467. Okay, we came back. We're holding the support at 443.68. Okay, below 428.86, you know, that's bearish. Okay, that's bearish. Below 417, that's very bearish. But below 428.86, that's super bearish. Now, above 443.68, that's bullish. Okay, now above 463.50, that's extremely bullish. Above 467.50, we're breaking out, and if we're breaking out, we go to 480 and 485, and the big tests are right here at 493. Okay, at 493. So 480, 485, and then 493 if we break out above that 467.50. But right now, we just got to focus on either closing above 446 or closing at 462. Okay, and I mean, if we get past that, you know, we're going to retest that 20 SMA at 467. And if we get past that, we're on the verge of breaking out. Okay, so we see the same price action that SPY has. You know, it has this little descending triangle, little bullish pennant set up. Okay, RSI is right at that 50 area. It's below it, but it's right at it. So we got to see, okay, are we going to hold this area? We're going to lose this and then come back and lose this. And then come back and test that and lose that. Come back and lose this. But I think we still have a fighting chance to go up. Still have a fighting chance to head higher. Okay. Well, you guys have a lot of questions today, huh? Okay. Here, let's just let's see. DIA here. DIA dropped off hard, real hard. Came back in, had a huge day yesterday, right? Like everyone did. Okay, and it's holding that 395 area. Okay, it needs to hold that and then come near back up to that 411. Looking at the monthly, the 398.43 is where it needs to end this week. See, 398. Well, let's see here. This one, I would say 399. 399 is where this one needs to end this week. 399. Okay, so DIA needs to end at 399 or higher. Maybe 400 this week. 399 or higher. Okay, if we lose 385, that's no bueno. Come back down and visit 371 and more. Okay, IWM. Here, let's just switch this up. Kill IWM. Okay, IWM. Here we go. Okay, IWM lost its channel, came back, tested it. Okay, now we want this one back in. We want this one back inside the channel. You know that Qs and SPY are in the channel, and we see that we could not get back inside the channel here on IWM. The banks will help it though. You know, if the banks go good, then this should go good. If this doesn't, then and it goes 162. Then it goes 162, but we're right here holding that 177.40 at that 100 SMA. Okay. So let's see here. So we want to hold that 181.64. Get back above there. We got a fighting chance there. We lose this area here at 179, then we could drop down back down to 172, and then back down to 170, 162. But things look all right. Of course we gotta wait for the earnings and the earnings call, but so far, I mean, this could be a really, really ugly inverse head and shoulders there, and this could be saved. But for now, we are looking at it how it is. We're below the channel. We're holding up with some good volume. Okay, we're holding up these levels. We need to get back above 190. We get back above 190. We're back inside the channel, and then we could go from there. Okay. MRK. All right, MRK. Okay, MRK. Got here. Okay, MRK, we have. Okay, we got a really steep downward channel. On the weekly, we're below the 50, 100, and 200 SMA. We're building this kind of cup, this inverse cup. Okay, a positive thing is the RSI is starting to lean up. Okay, it's starting to lean up a little bit. Stochastic's not doing much yet. This one has earnings. 2 weeks. Exactly 2 weeks from today. Okay, and then we're hitting that lower end of the channel. And we get that downtrend inside. So this one, nice day yesterday from the bottom of the channel. Didn't have a day like the rest of the markets because they had like massive days that were bigger than the previous days. This one had a pretty good day, but it didn't follow through today. This one had a piercing line reversal, but then gap down and still is inside day. It's an inside day, so this could mean one of two things. This could mean that it's bottoming here. It's bottoming here in this general area, and it's going to keep going sideways and then come back up. Or this means that it's nothing. It's either gonna keep going down or pop it back up, test that downtrend and then keep going down. Or we're gonna stay in this zone right here until earnings comes up. So it might pop this way up, chop around, and then when it gets super tight for the earnings, it might pop it up. But I'd be careful with that lower channel right there. Every time it hits it, it's been going sideways or up. Okay, this one went sideways, then up a little bit. This one went up, then sideways, and then down, and sideways, and then down, down. This one went up, and then sideways, and then down. So this one's either going sideways, or we're gonna go up. So sideways or up on MRK. That's what I'm seeing there. I'm not seeing anything else on the higher time frames. Let me see on the lower time frames. Lower time frames. Not really. No bullish divergence there. Above 77 is good, but let's see if it could hold that and push. 4-hour chart. See, this cup I don't like. I don't like the cup. I don't like to go straight up, come back down, go straight back down. So the cup I don't like, because essentially that could be an inverse cup and handle. So if this goes sideways, they could fire down and then go to that 73. So just what I'm seeing. Okay. Let me see here. How come I'm not seeing this? Oh, here we go. Okay, F X Y. Okay, what is this? All right, this is currency. Okay. So I'll tell you what the chart says. I don't really do currency, so I'm not going to tell you what the global issues are. Okay, that looks right. Okay. Okay, so we are in a megaphone pattern on this FXY. It looks like it hit 65. Looks like it can't hit 65. Looks like it's very volatile. This here has a lot of volume up here. Every time it hits this zone right here, it sells off though. Every time it hits that zone, it sells off. So if you could clear that zone, you get to 65. So if you could clear 69, 64, 63.9, then you could get to 65. So basically, you get above 64, you can go to 65. That's $1. Okay, if you can't, you're gonna be stuck right here, or you're going sideways, or come back. But the megaphone pattern, it's pretty established. On the weekly, it's looking like, it's pretty established as well. Breaking out of this here with this week's candle with some good volume. So it could definitely push higher to that 65. Just needs to clear that 63.90. Okay, it looks good. Looks like essentially a bottom here on that. Let's see. Has a nice bullish divergence on the monthly. Okay, nice bullish divergence on the monthly. So this could be a good bottom there for this. It was going sideways, and dropped hard, came back, bounced, sold off, bounced, then come back here, bounce. RSI's up here. RSI just needs to go green, and then this could actually go off. So that could take off. It looks good on the higher time frames. It looks great. On the lower time frames, megaphone pattern. If it could clear 63.90, it could go 65. If it could clear that, we could go even higher. But you're gonna go either sideways or up on this one. Okay. All right, Verizon. I think I did this last time. I said Verizon and T-Mobile were good stocks a while ago, right? A while ago. Well, I mean, Verizon's still good, but it's mostly a consolidation stock. It's mostly a dividend stock. But if you got it in the 34s, 35s, it has a $10 increase, and you've been getting that dividend. So right here, you see that we have this lower box here. You have that lower box there, and then you got the upper box here. So you're at the upper end of the box. Now if you clear that box, you're gonna go here to the upside. Okay. Okay, we could see that area is getting rejected. Let's see, we could go a little higher there. So we're right now in between the upper and lower box. We're right in the middle. Okay, so this needs to hold that 42.32. Okay, hold still. Okay, it's rejecting that 20 SMA right now, and it's holding it's rejecting its 200 SMA on the weekly, and it's holding its 200 SMA on the daily. So we're right in the middle. We're right in the middle of each quadrant, right? There's 4 parts of this. The bottom has 2. The top has 2. Okay. Let's see where that is. Okay. I'm gonna split this down. Okay, that was a good split. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 areas. Okay, those areas. So we're right here, right in the middle of that. We're holding it right there, right on that middle of that 42.32. So if we continue to hold 42.32, we could continue up still. We got to get past that 44, and then we got to retest this area at 46. Okay, if we're going to hold that 200 and 100 combination. If we don't hold that, we go 40, 74, and then 38, 90. And we're going to still be in this sideways consolidation. Because this is a bear flag, but this doesn't look like it's going to want to fire. So I think that it's good still. I think that it was going to hold and has a slow grind up. But you can see this with this area right here. It's consolidation. So if we stay in this and we don't get past 44, we're going to stay in this sideways action for a little while. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Netflix. Okay, Netflix. All right. So let's take some of this stuff off here. Okay, well, you can see that Netflix hit its previous channel, and it held it. We broke out of that channel, then we came back and hit the channel here, held it, came back, made a new high, then came back, hit that channel again, bounced. Okay, now we hit that channel again. Well, we got in the channel, and then we came back and held it, and it bounced again, and we had a bullish divergence on that bounce. Okay, so see here. Let's grab that. Okay. Okay, let's remove a couple of these things here. All right. So Netflix, what do we do now? Well, if this is a possible W pattern with a bullish divergence, a lot of volume here, a lot of volume here. That's good. Okay, then we should be able to break out of here. We're right at these moving averages, 100, 20, and 50. Now we're gonna need to break out of that 970. That 970 area is that downtrend. So we need to break through that, and we could definitely get back to 1,000 and more. So nice pattern, nice W pattern, good volume. Okay, I see a nice little W pattern there. Okay, we need to get past this 940 this week. If we get past that 940, that 939 area, we'll be above these moving averages, and we'll be setting up a nice little bull flag to set up to break through that downtrend next week, or even this week. Who knows? But earnings are coming up 4/17, so that's in 7 days. That's a week from today. So we got earnings coming up next week. So possible breakout. But if we do break out and we go to the highs into next week, I wouldn't play earnings. I just wouldn't. So that's a possibility. That's a possibility right there. Is Netflix is tech's beginning of earnings. Um, so if it does break out and rallies up, I would be so we could have a nice huge rally for this week into next week, and then and then Netflix earnings kills it. So that's one thing. I would rather us consolidate a little bit and then have that happen. But if it has to happen that way, let it rally, let it take off into next week, and then from there, we're just gonna have to hedge up a lot because if Netflix comes out and they're saying, whatever they say, um, if there's like a retaliation on something about like the tariffs and on something and saying that you know China's not going to allow Netflix to be servicing there or whatnot or whatever that happens, that could be a really a big hit, and then that will drop us back down here. Okay, maybe even a little bit more. So that's a big thing right there. So this week looks good. Into next week looks good. Earnings, if it's too good already, I would hedge up, get out, or I would hedge up on it, or I would definitely think about playing the downside. If we're above 1,000 and we're back to the highs by next week on Netflix, or even past the highs before earnings, I would definitely consider playing puts. Okay, that's my take on it. As of right now, we're still in a downtrend here. If we could break that 972, we'll definitely be able to go to 1,000 and more. But if we just pop it up to say 960, 963, 965, and then get rejected, we're gonna maintain this downtrend. But so far it looks good. So far it looks real good. Nice little bull flag. Okay, downtrend. Break that. We come up. We could come all the way to. We could come to 960, 965 tomorrow. If that has a nice rally, if the banks come out good and there's a nice rally, we could easily rally hard on the banks tomorrow and overall markets, and then die on the tech side with Netflix come Thursday, a week from today, or come Friday. Oh no, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, a week from today. So we could have a nice rally tomorrow into next week, and then Netflix would come and kill it. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying that's what could happen. Let me look at this. It does look nice. It does look a little choppy here, but if this could stay right here and sideways for the month, that looks good. Let me look at the weekly. The weekly is not as good. We have a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low. This is a downtrend establishing. Okay, we have a bearish divergence as well. We have a bearish divergence here. The weekly not as looking as good. Okay, we broke this low. Okay, we broke this low. All right, so not the best. Not the best looking. So that's why if we do pop, if we break 1,000, maybe that will be maybe that would be the kicker. If we do rally into next week and break 1,000, because then we break the high and the low, and then that cancels each other out. And then we'll be up in the air for earnings. But if we don't, if by earnings we're not past 999, if we're not past that, then I would be cautious. And even if we are past that, I would still be cautious. But if we don't pass that, I would be extremely cautious. Yeah. That's Netflix for you. But so far, looks good until tomorrow at least. Microsoft. All right, Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft, we had this consolidation. We broke out of it, hit that first target, and then immediately comes back in. Not back in, but back to the point that we broke out. And we did a bullish engulfing candle on the weekly so far. Okay, that looks pretty strong. We had a squeeze firing. Okay, that might be over with. We don't know yet. But as of right now, Microsoft is looking very strong. It's holding 20 SMA right there at 381.35. It closed right on that today. So it closed right on there. It had a big day yesterday. Got back inside of this, gap down, holding that. And then this could be a little inverse head and shoulders on the 4-hour forming. So we got one shoulder here. We got the head. We got another shoulder here. Okay, that could be a very possible shoulder right there. It's definitely a bull flag. So, Microsoft looks actually really good. It's probably one of the strongest ones I've seen. Strongest ones I've seen. And the RSI is above 50. Nice bull flag, holding well. Did well today, held pretty strong. Has that possible inverse head and shoulders right there. Okay, we're right where we broke down from. Microsoft looks pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, has that same pattern that SPY and QQQ have, except it's above 50. So that's strong. This one's one of the strongest stocks I've seen in the market today. So, at least in the Qs, this one's extremely strong. So, if the market goes, Microsoft's going to be the first one to go. Okay, so whatever the market does, if it's strong, Microsoft's going to be the strongest one. If it's weak, then we're going to have to look at weaker stocks. So they could be even more weak. Right? All right, so Microsoft looks good. Looks great. Think it goes. Where does it go to? Well, breaks the downtrend. We go 387. And then we revisit 394. If it breaks 394, we go 400. Okay. Okay. Oh, shoot. Did I just do Microsoft misspelling that? Oh, did I say? Oh. It's Masteron. Not Microsoft, huh? Well, if anybody wanted Microsoft, that's what it was. Sorry, I thought somebody asked for Microsoft. It was MicroStrategy. My bad. All right, MicroStrategy. Here we are. Okay, let's grab that there. Grab this here. All right. MicroStrategy. We dropped out of the consolidation. Hit 200 day. Bounced right here. Hit 200 again. Bounced up right here. Okay. This was a little W pattern. We did not hit our target of the W pattern. We got short of the target. And we double topped out there. And then we dropped it. And now we're hitting a triple bottom. Right here, the triple bottom hit that same place, 237.93, held the 200 SMA, pushed it up, hit to the moving average here, and then when that downtrend stopped us, we closed right below it. Okay, so what do we have to do? Well, we have to hold above this area. Got to hold above that area, okay, which we are. Okay, hold above this area of 272.50. Okay, we want to get back over this downtrend, okay, which is going to be about 278. Okay, once we get back above that 278, we go 287. Okay, 287.50, and then we get above that, we go to 298 300. Okay, it's still a nice bull flag. Not saying that it's a nice bull flag there. It is a nice bull flag. Nice bull flag, kind of an inverse head and shoulders kind of thing as well. We just need to get past 278. We get past 278, then we're rocking and rolling to 287, and then possibly 300. All right, this look is looking good. But again, tomorrow Jamie Dimon is going to affect it. It's going to affect all of the market, especially financials. Okay, and Bitcoin is a financial. So, however that affects it in a good or bad term, we'll see. The only thing I don't like about MicroStrategy here is that we had that nice trend. We broke it, we rejected it, and then we came back and we tested that 50. We rejected it there. But we need to turn this around and get back over that 50. Okay, there's a lot of calls in play for MicroStrategy, but we'll see how that acts and reacts. Okay, so hold that 272.60, push it, break through that downtrend here, and break through that 278, and we go 287 and more. Okay, LMT. LMT here. So we hit this level of 422. Bounce back. Did we get fill? 496. Nope, did not get fill there. Then came back, dropped down to that level again, bounced. Okay, came back, bounced again. Okay. So seeing this pattern here, we got resistance at 480. So 480 resistance there. So that 480 resistance is prevalent. So you got some support right here. You hold 459.22. Okay, and then you could revisit that 475 and 480, but you could see as 3 times already hit 480 and it rejected. Okay, we got 3 times it hit 422 and it popped up. So you're going to be setting up here. Let me see what's going on longer term. Okay. Yeah, this is looking like it's consolidating. Now that I look at it on a bigger turn, it's looking like this zone all right here is going to be consolidation zone until earnings, which is next week, or no, a week and a half. About a weekend, a little bit more. So you're going to be stuck in this zone for a little bit. I mean, you still got upside room for 475, 480, but you're going to be stuck in this zone for a little while. It's not going to blast off. Maybe it comes all the way up here and then earnings it drops it, or maybe it just stays sideways and then makes it move on earnings. But I wouldn't expect a huge move until earnings, especially on Lockheed Martin, unless some notice on some increasing war goes off, which it may. But right here, it's looking like consolidation. Consolidation there. All right, Oxy. Okay, Oxy dropped off from this consolidation. super hard, super fast. You know, we went from 49. We were trying to get that 50 area, and it dropped off super hard, all the way down to 34.78. That monthly support, and that's the last monthly support. So it's consolidating sideways here. It's not looking great, and it can't break this 34.73. If it breaks that 34.73, it's gone. It's gone. There's no point. It's gone. So Oxy dropped off, sold off 3 days. Okay, got into this area. Now we're just consolidating in here. Consolidating in here. I would like to see it come back and pop right back inside here really quickly. But you know, we'll see. We'll see if that even happens. So you know, this is our last area of support. Okay, if it drops off from that, you know, it's going to 24, and there's no point. So this is the last that's the last stand for Oxy right here, 34.73, and then you know, this bear flag obviously fired. Okay, it has earnings 5/7, so not till next month. This needs to come back, and we need to come back inside this month. Okay, this month needs to come back inside of 46. If it could come back inside of 46, I think it turns around and runs around. It runs out, but it needs to do that. It needs to come back above 46. Right now, it's consolidating, but you know, if it could turn V recover, get back inside here, I think that this would be the bottom there. If it could do that, if it could V recover, come back inside 46, and get back inside there before the month's end, and then next month it's earnings, I think that this could turn around, and actually you would see this as the bottom. So let's just type that in right there. The bottom, if we can get 46 end of month. All right, so let's check that out. Do the bottom here. All right, so that's it. That's the bottom. If we could get 46 by the end of the month, this is the bottom. 34.78 is the bottom. As of right now, we're going sideways. You know, we had that big day yesterday, but then did nothing today. So again, if it's going to go sideways here, it needs to do that this week, next week, and then it needs to turn around and get that 46 by the end of the month. So we got 3 weeks for it to turn around and jump $10. If it could do that by the end of the month, I think that's the bottom, and it turns and runs. If it can't do that, I think it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Okay. All right. Meta. Okay, Meta. We saw this bullish channel here that we lost. Hit the 200 SMA, came back and tested that channel. We rejected it. Okay, rejected that. Okay, made a new downward channel. Okay, here we are in that new downward channel. Okay, drop down. Okay, and continue to drop down. Lost the channel. Hit both of our targets here, and then popped up hard. Tested the upper end of the channel. Then came back down today after rejecting that 20 SMA and the 200 SMA combo. We come up and we're here, but we're still forming a nice little bull flag on the 4 hour. We're still in this channel though. We're still in the downward channel. RSI did hit that 50 and reject. Okay, same thing here. Hit the 50 and reject. Hit the 50 and reject. Okay. Stochastics coming up. Okay, momentum coming up. Okay, 4 hour. 4 hour is a potential. No, it's not. Okay, we just got a bull flag here. That bull flag needs to get back above this 541. Hold that. Then we need to get above that 553. But our big test is that 566.66. 576.66. We could break that 576.66. We break the channel and then we start to go. Okay. Right now, popped it. Okay, we gotta hold above these guys right here. We gotta hold above them, and that's 541. So we gotta hold above them. If we can hold above them, 541, we could come back and test that 553. We could get back above that 553. We go 576.66. We break that, then we go 600. Okay. So Meta is a little. It's definitely weaker than Microsoft, and in the tech space, Microsoft was a lot stronger, as we saw when I did that one on accident. But here we can see it's a little weaker. But we can see this level right here, that 541 level, is really strong level. It's a really strong level, that 541 level. So we hold above there. We get back above 553. If we could get back above 553 and even get to, say, 560, 565, something around there, and end it tomorrow, that'd be a nice bull flag setup for next week to break this downtrend. Okay, now if we can't get above 541 and we lose it, it looks like we're going to come back and test this 500. But if we could stay above that 541, push back above 553, hold this area right here, then we set up for a nice big bull flag to set up to break out next week. Okay. So that's meta for you. Okay, meta. Okay. All right, GS. All right, GS here. Here. All right, GS is another one of those stocks that it needs a hold 470. Needs to hold that 470. That 470 is a 20 SMA there. Okay, dropped out of the channel. Okay. Dropped out of that channel. Okay, dropped out of that channel. Okay, holding the 20 SMA. Okay. If that doesn't hold, then we're going to go to 390. So 100-point drop if that doesn't hold. Okay, we're holding the 100 SMA on the weekly. We need to close above 503 for a reversal to happen. So 503, 502.50. 502.50, you need to close above that in order for it to form a reversal pattern. This one has earnings next week on the 4th. So that's like Monday. Yeah, Monday. So we'll see what happens tomorrow because that's going to affect it. We'll see what happens tomorrow on there. But this one needs to get back above 50250. So 50250 is right here. So it needs to be the high of today. Yeah, basically. So we need to get back up there and close it or more. You know, if it takes off, you know, it still has a lot of room for its downtrend though. It could take off and then Monday, you know, it shits the bed or whatever. But we'll see how it reacts tomorrow. But that's the thing. It needs to hold 577. It needs to close this week above 50250. And, you know, it's going to react on JP Morgan tomorrow on earnings call. So, you know, I could say whatever, but that's how it's going to react. If it drops, you know, we go 447 again. But that's going to be the lower end of the channel. And it's going to bounce from there. Unless it breaks the channel down. We'll see. If it's really bad, that it could break the channel down. But if it's good, we could pop it down all the way back up to 537. 539 even if it has good news tomorrow. Okay. All right. Costco. So I was debating on getting into this one yesterday. But I didn't. Only because it has this gap fill right here at 1021. And I was thinking, I think that, you know, it's going to hit that with the big rally it was having. And I was like, okay, you know, I tried it before and it failed. Try it again and failed. Okay, and this was supposed to be the right shoulder to break down on the head and shoulders pattern. Right, so there's that one shoulder, the head, and then this was going to be the right shoulder, and then it failed to break down, and then it rallied back up. So we're rejecting this 50 SMA. We're rejecting this 994 50 SMA area, okay, but we're holding above this 962. So it still looks good. RSI is above 50. I still think we could hit that 1021.50. You know, I don't think it's gonna drop unless we get a big giant bearish candle and it breaks that 875 and cancels all this run up, and we just get a big bearish engulfing candle and cancels all of this. So if that doesn't happen and we hold above this 961, then we form a little bull flag, and then we set up to break that to 1021.50. If we can't hold that, and we can't hold 919, because that's where the 200 SMA is, this one could set that head and shoulders off, but it's going to be a weaker one now, and it won't fall as much because, you know, it had its opportunity to break down and it didn't. So now it's weaker. Now it's weaker because this takes a long time to build. And then the sellers came in to try to push it down, and the buyers stepped in and pushed it back up, all the way back up here. So that's telling us, hey, there's not enough sellers in this game right now that it's gonna hurt them. So this has the chance of pushing it to 1021.50 still. Okay. So we hit that 994 area, and then we came back down. So now it's having a little cup and handle action. Still think this could break to the 1021. So yeah, if we have good news and good positive on the markets, I don't really think Costco's affected that much from the market reactions. But I mean, of course, if any sell off, any major sell off, and any major run up, you know, every stock is going to participate. But typical sell-offs, typical run-ups, Costco I don't think participates too much. But looks good. I think it looks good at 1021. Okay. AMD, I was looking at AMD today. And because I was looking at NVIDIA as well, so I always look at them together. I was saying, okay. All right, let's just clear all this out. Okay, there's that. Okay, there's that. Okay, so AMD dropped out of this consolidation and then hit the middle consolidation here. Okay, this is the bottom here, 55.90, but this was 75. Okay, so this one hit 76.50. Okay, so almost. It's about there. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this looks good. Let's see here again. Okay, so we have that long falling wedge, but no divergence there. That's the only thing. Stochastics looks good, but RSI, no divergence there. I mean, RSI is low. It's in its 30s on the weekly. What's it on the monthly? 39. That's not too bad. What's on the daily? Daily was at 20 and then it popped to 40. So AMD falling wedge on the higher term. Okay, I'd love to see it above 95.80. Okay, it's below 90 right now. It's at 88.70. Holding the wedge. I like it, but I would like it better above 95.80. That's like the level that it needs to be above. But then again, if it was near 75.50, I would buy it up. So it's right in the middle of them two. So I like NVIDIA because it has a falling wedge on it as well. I think it goes. I just don't. Oh wait, wrong one. I just don't want to see it below. I don't want to see it below 85 because then it's going to go to 75. And we can see we hit that 75 area on the after hours pretty well, and then it popped up hard. Okay, I don't want to see it lose 85, and I want to see it regain 95. So anywhere near 85 is a buy, and then above 95 is a buy. Below 85, no buy. 75.50, buy. But below 85, no. 75.50, yes. Above 95.80, yes. 85, yes. But if it gets below that, it's going to go to 75. Holds above there, we have a good chance to go to 95. We get past 95. We above that, it looks good for a longer term play. So I do see that it doesn't have no bullish divergences here. But again, even the ones that it did have, they didn't last too long. So I think that if we get above 95.80, this will be above 50. RSI will be above 50. So above 85, good to 95. Above at 95, good to 105. Okay. And then we break 105, then we're in business. But if we lose it at 85, we go to 75.90. And we lose that, we lose 75, then we go to 55, which that'd be crazy. But that's yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. All right, UPST here. Upstart. Okay. All right. So, a lot of you guys are asking me for banking, but banking just banking hasn't been looking good, and I mean it all depends on Diamond tomorrow, which I think is going to be positive. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be positive. I think it's going to be positive, and if it's not positive, I think it will recover. Because if it doesn't, we're in trouble. Big trouble. Because VIX is already really high, and I see it rejecting. So if it does drop the market tomorrow hard, and we have a bloody Friday, I think that's the end of VIX. I think it shoots up one last time past 60, maybe go to like 70, 80, and then it dies from there. Complete dies. It would be a hard reversal day, or if it doesn't, then it's a nothing day, and then we go into next week into the tech earnings. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right, so Upstart, here's the problem. You got these sections here. So you got this area of resistance here. That is a good area of resistance there. And then you got this area, and then you got this area. So here we dropped off, bounced here, got rejected from this area, same area this got rejected in. We lost this area here that this one had spent so much time fighting for. Okay, we came back inside. We got above that yesterday, and then we got right below it today. So now we're below that 41.56. So we need to be above that. It needs to be above that. And the RSI barely moved. So it does have a little uptrend, but it barely moved. So got to identify. We need to be above 41.56, more like 42. We need to be above 42. Okay, this is still a potential bear flag, so we need to be above that. Okay, let's see. What is this? Is this anything? Okay, it might be. Okay, we might have a little channel. Yep. Might have a little bullish channel right here. So on the 4 hour. So if it holds that, maintains that, then we could push that and get above that 41.56. And if we do that, that means it's a buy. I like it there. But below that 41.56, it's a hard thing to say because it rejected it so many times, it's probably going to drop down. So if we could get back above there, we could hold this channel, we get it back above there, we could see 44, see 44, 46. You can see 44 and 46. Okay, and we can definitely see 48.40. So we don't want to lose. We don't want to lose 38. So we want to maintain above there, get back up there, go to this areas. Okay. Upstart. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, next XOM. All right, XOM. You know, XOM was doing so good. We're up here right by the breakout of 120, and in 3 days it just died out all the way to 100, all the way to 100. What a drop! What a drop! So I gotta say the same thing about Oxy that I did about what I did about Oxy is so we have this consolidation here. We broke out, we rallied up, you know, for 3-4 weeks, okay, and then we dropped off hard 3 days. All right, so now we're back here trying to get back into this box. Okay, now we get in this box, cool. Okay, we don't want to be in this box. I want to see by the end of the month we rally back up above 113 at least. I want to see us back up out of this box above 113. Let me see that monthly. Here we go. So we see the monthly and we see, okay, this box here that we're in. So we're at the bottom of the box. Okay, big bearish engulfing. We were at the top of the box. Now we're completely out of the box. I mean, on the bottom of the box. Okay, we see that this bottom of the box has been a bottom for months, if not years, for years. Okay, all right. Don't like that. You know, bearish divergence and firing down. Do not like that. But the month is not over. Okay. I want to see us hold this here and turn it around. Okay, this could be a turnaround. We're hitting the 200 SMA. This could be a turnaround week, and if that's a turnaround week, we could go higher. Okay, this is a inverted hammer. Okay, tomorrow, whatever that brings, even if it's a little higher, it's still going to be inverted hammer. Okay, this one has earnings on the 5th. Okay, not till next month. So, you know, this weekly candle could be whatever this is. And then if we're going to have to get over 106.50 next week to confirm this candle. So whatever this candle ends, we're going to have to get over 106.70, and then we could go higher. Okay. Okay. But it's looking like this bottom 98 area is holding well. So is that a buy? Yeah, it's a buy versus this area, 98. I think that's a bottom area. I mean, it is a bottom area, but I think it holds as a bottom area. And I think we come back up over, and I think we do end up getting past 106, 107 next week. So, and you know, we have a bullish divergence here on the 4-hour with the squeeze up. So that's looking good. It's looking like, okay, this might be a nice reversal area to play. So that is that's my take on oil. You know, of course everything had a big day yesterday. Then this one came back down, made a new low, but it has a bullish divergence on it. Okay, and this one is actually forming a little bullish divergence as well on the daily. So if we start making rooms up, then we could see a possible good turnaround. A good turnaround. Okay, because whatever it dropped on the huge drop, it must have been about some tariffs, and if the tariffs are gonna, you know, start turning them back, then we should start turning this back. If any news comes out on anything else, you know, this should start turning back up pretty quickly. Okay. All right, Intel's at the bottom right here, at the bottom area. It hits it. You know, I think that it's any hold that bottom. I think it should hold that bottom. I mean, if it doesn't, you know, your stop loss is right here at 1750. So get long Intel right here. I don't like the RSI below 50, but I mean, you're so close to right here, the area of stop out. 18 is 17. You know, you're so close to that. It's, you know, get long, and you have the chance to bounce up and head higher. You know, of course, um, it will have some effect on, you know, chips and stuff, but I think it's a good bottom, and Stochastic says it's a good bottom as well. RSI just needs to turn around, but this looks like a buy to me. I would buy this here versus 18. Yeah, even if you just get to 22, that's still a nice run up. You know, you lose 17, you get out. Lose 17, even if you lose 18, get out. But 1750 would be my complete stop out. Okay. All right, GLD. All right, GLD has been on a run up. Gold has been on a run up, but I would be careful here. I would definitely be careful here. Um, if this tops out here, I'm just saying if it does, I don't know if it's gonna top out here or not, but if it does top out here, you know, I would be cautious because it's gonna come back down here, and then it's gonna bounce back up here, and then we could see some kind of topping pattern, like either a head and shoulders pattern or some other thing. But if we could stay above 292, then this thing can go to 300. 300. 305. 310 and more. Okay, but if it can't stay above 392, I would be cautious that it's any fall back in here, and then create some kind of topping pattern. Okay, it has good volume, get everything, but I would just be like under 392, cautious. Above 392, it's going higher. Okay. Gee. All right, you guys with currencies today, huh? Uh huh. All right. Currencies today. All right. So you have downward channel. We're hitting the lower end of the channel, holding that. We are right at that level of area that the RSI has been holding. Stochastic's not ready yet. Okay. But we have a monster head and shoulders forming there as well. Okay. So that is something to consider. Okay, so you have a monster head and shoulders pattern here, right at that 140. Okay, I don't think it's ready quite yet. I don't know if it's gonna be. You still got a ways to go, but you have this downward channel here. You're hitting the lower end of the channel, and let me see what that's looking like in the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, you're hitting that lower end of the channel, and you have some kind of divergence. You have a little divergence there so far. Don't know if it's going to hold, but it's holding. It's a little divergence there so far. Let's see, hourly doesn't have that divergence there, but it does have some support right there. So if you break it, you know, you're gonna head down, you're gonna head lower. But granted, I think that this zone right here has been holding pretty well. I'm not sure if it breaks it. I think that we hold that lower end of the channel. If it does break it, you're gonna go to 140, 60, and then you're gonna either break that or you're gonna bounce on there, and that head and shoulders is not gonna break. But if not, this bounces, you consolidate for a little bit longer, and then you head down to that 140 on some other news, and then it breaks. But right now, I think that's too risky. Okay, weekly has that head and shoulders. The monthly, you know, we have that major bearish, and then we have that head and shoulders on the R side already breaking down. So it's a good chance that this breaks down, and we go 136, 130. So that's a good possible chance. Okay, you just gotta keep in mind you're at the lower end of this channel. Not saying that it's not gonna break and come down here. Just saying it's at the lower end of that channel. If it breaks that, you know, we're going here and then possibly breaking down. So USD versus JPY. Okay. All right. Next one. All right, Tesla here. Okay, so Tesla has been holding this gap fill at 218.70 area three times, basically twice. Okay, and this consolidation here, right here. Okay, so this consolidation here. Okay, we broke out of that downtrend, got rejected, came back in, held it. Okay, held it and then lost it. Okay, then came back inside, down it. Then we got back above it, and then we're holding, and then right here, 255 is the 20th of May. So as long as we continue to hold this 252 area, you know, that should be good. We're holding above this consolidation. Okay, our side needs to break out. It hasn't broke out of that 50 yet. It's tried to 3 times. It keeps trying. So we need something good tomorrow in order to push it through. Okay. Say bull flag on the daily, on the 4-hour. It's still good. Okay, if this doesn't break through and we get bad news, you know, we're going back to 218. Okay, this Tesla's been a big mover, but 218 has been holding very well. So I don't see it breaking unless we're, you know, some really bad news comes out. But Tesla RSI above 50 on the 4 hour, holding that bull flag. Okay, looks good. We break 255, and we should be breaking out. I think we tested 255 intraday, and then we got rejected there. So again, we still have that same pattern that we have on SPY and QQQ. So everything's a market trade right now. So everything's moving with the market. So market goes, everything goes. Okay, that's just basically it. All right, so we either go break out above, then go 265, 270, 272, or we break down and go 218. Okay. All right. Right. Okay, right here. All right, right. Right, hit this low here, and now it's hitting this low again. RSI below 50, coming down, squeeze for me. This consolidation here. So $3. Okay. So we have that same low here. Got that same low here. Okay, squeeze firing down. Stochastic's coming down. RSI's coming down. You got to hold that 622 or else this is gone for. It's going to $3. So if this doesn't hold that 622, then you're going to see this dropping down to $3. And you do have a bullish divergence here, but you need to get past 760. So if you could get past 760, then you can make your way to 870. Make your way to 870 and $9. Okay, and then but your big level that you want to get above is $10 right here, and $10 to $11 even more. But right here you have a possible move. You know, we'll check how Bitcoin's doing in a little bit, but you have a possible move here. But anything below 622, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it. It's going to $3. Okay, if you get above 760, great. You're going to $9. Okay, if you get above 980, then great. You're going to 11. Okay, other than that, below 622, I wouldn't touch it. GME. Okay. All right. GME. Look at this consolidation. Okay, it went up to what, 34, it came back down. Okay, here it is. You know, I don't play this stock. I don't really mess around with this stock. But here it is. This is the consolidation that it was previously in. It got in it. Okay, it made a bullish divergence here. It got back up. It's right at that 25 area. Okay, if it could stay above 25, then we could go 27, 28. But this area here is rejection sell zone. There's a lot of bag holders right here that are trying to get out. So if you get here, I would be seller. If you get anywhere near here, I would be a huge seller. Okay, Here, there's potential buyers here because there's where everybody buys. So everybody buys in this zone. You can see everybody bought here, it rallied up. Everybody sold here, it rallied back down, hit this area where people were buying, popped up, people sold, okay, came back down here, came to this area, people selling, sold again. So you're right here at 20, 25, right above where people are buying. If it goes to 27 or 27 to 28, I'd be a seller. That's where people are selling. Okay, if you somehow get past that, then you're going to be selling here 30, and then if you can make it to 34, 33, that's a big time sell area. Okay. All right, NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA broke down, hit that 86 area, and then popped back up hard back inside of this channel. Okay, held above 105, and then we didn't quite touch the 20 SMA right at 111, but we're still making a nice bull flag on the 4 hour. Nice bull flag there. Nice bull flag there. A nice little uptrend. Okay. Okay, let's see. We're gonna see if we can pop this and get it back over 113, 115. Okay, if we can, great. We'll be able to get. If we could get past 115, we go 120 and 122. If we could get past that, we go 125 to 127. Okay, 128, 127 is the area of the downtrend that we would be watching. If we could somehow, some way get past that and get to 130, that's an area that we want to be at. We get above there, that's golden. We bottom out and we should be going up. Okay, anything around this area though, we're still in trouble. Okay, so I just like the buying volume in this zone. Love the buying area. So, but we need to get through some levels. We need to get through 115. We need to get through 120. We need to get through 130. After we get through those, all right, all the buying was great. Then now we're ready to go. Okay, if we can't get through those levels and we reject, we're coming back to 86 and potentially going to 75. Okay, that's a big if, right? I think we bottomed, but yeah, those are our levels. My positive on JP Morgan's earnings. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm positive on JP Morgan's earnings or not. What matters is the earnings call. So JP Morgan could have bad earnings. They could have great earnings. They could have the best earnings in the world. But if JP Morgan JP Morgan's CEO, Jamie Dimon, says anything bad about what he sees the economy or where he sees the effect of the president's plan or the retaliation of global trade or whatever it is, that's going to hurt the markets. It doesn't matter if Jamie Dimon or JP Morgan blows it out of the water in the earnings. What matters is the earnings call from the biggest manager of in the world, because everybody sees him as the best CEO of any bank. So the financial markets depend on whatever he says. Okay, so that's what. Do I think he's gonna say positive things? I don't know, but I don't think he wants the market to drop. But he's gonna say whatever he says, and the markets are gonna take it however they're gonna take it. Okay. Okay. So I think it's gonna be a positive reaction, but do I know what he's gonna say? No, I don't. Do I think JP Morgan's gonna have a good quarter? I think they will. I think they will because of you know trading and housing and banks. But do I think that what he says is gonna be the main factor? Yeah, that's what he says is gonna be the main factor. And that's what happens in these areas where we get into uncertainty. It's not about the earnings per se. It's about what their forward guidance is. What their forward guidance. So whatever his forward guidance is going to be an effect of how the market's going to react. So if they're thinking that you know inflation is going to go higher and it's going to be harder to buy a house. It's going to be harder to do these things. It's going to be hard. The economy's going to drop. But if he doesn't, and he thinks that the Fed is going to ease and things are going to slow and the economy is going to flourish and inflation is going to go down, then of course things are going to fly. But we'll see. We will see. All right. TQQQ. Okay. All right. This one, downtrend. Okay. Okay. Held the downtrend here. Okay. Popped up to this 53.66. Okay. Now we're still in a bull flag as long as we hold above this level here of 45.38. Okay. Hold above that 45.38. We're fine. Okay, this needs to get back up here to 50 to 52 area. Let me check that weekly. Okay, that weekly candle needs to close right at 48. Right at 48. Yeah. So 48.30. So yeah, if it could get to 49.30, that'd be great. If we could close anywhere above 49.30, that's good. That's good for the week. That's good for the reversal. That's good for going into next week. Okay. If we go higher, then great, we go higher. But we need to break 56 in order for this to take off. Okay. Needs to break 56 in order for this to take off. All right. If it doesn't and we drop below 45, we're going to come revisit these areas, these lows here. Okay, at 36, 35 area. And possibly lower if we break down. Okay. All right, CVS here. Okay. So CVS, okay, we had gap fill here, we gap filled there, then we dropped, okay, hit that resistance, okay, now we're above that resistance here, okay, now we're pretty much holding that area. All right, it's trying, I give it that, it's trying, but is it gonna try hard enough? Don't know. It's trying, but it's struggling. Okay, our side right above 50 on the monthly. Okay, weekly. Okay, weekly, we got that pretty much like a little cup and handle trying to break out. If it could break out, we could go here. 75, 79. But we need to stay above 67. Yeah, let's see here. We need to stay above 68.87. We need to stay above that in order for this to continue on higher. Okay. If you get below 66.88, you're in trouble. But if you can stay above 68.87, you're good. You could go higher. Okay. All right. RKT. I feel like I did this one before. Okay. Look, you're at a potential support here, but our side looks weak. Stochastics looks weak. Squeeze looks weak. You're in this consolidation sideways, so you're at the lower end. But if you could get long here, but if you lose 1146, you need to get out immediately. So you could get long here, and you could bounce back. You got 13. You got 14. And then you got your moving averages, 1360, 1433. You could get long here versus 1146. You lose that, get out, because you're coming down here. 1085, 1032, 933. Okay, so you're consolidating, don't have enough juice to break out. Okay, you might bounce a little bit more or consolidate more, but you lose that 1146, it's gone. All right. Apple. Okay. So Apple had a long-term channel consolidation here, broke down. Okay. Then we lost our channel, hit the 200 SMA. Okay. In order for Apple to be good, we need to get 202.60 to 203 this week. Okay, we need to get 203 this week. In order for we get a reversal, we're gonna that's in order for us to hold the channel that we broke out of on the monthly. Okay, this is a monthly channel, long-term monthly channel. We hit the 50 SMA. We need to get back inside there. We need to get 203. Okay, so we need to get 203. We need to get 203 in order to get back in there for a setup for next week. Okay, we popped up, we hit 200 yesterday. Okay, then we popped back down here, and we stayed about 190 area. We did hit a high of 194, but you know that's the top of the channel. So tomorrow we need to pop back over, and we need to push. If we push it to 208, that'd be great. But we need to get to at least 203. And that's going to be making a new high. Okay. The 4 hour looks good. Looks like a nice little bull flag. Nice little bull flag. So if we could push it, that'd be great. Okay. 1 hour looks great. Nice bull flag. It looks like it's already trying to break out. Okay, RSI above 50, that's great. You know, this one looks strong. It looks like Microsoft. Microsoft looks strong. This one looks strong too. Okay, RSI above 50 on the 4 hour. Okay, that one looks good. So we have gaps. We got gap here at 201.50. We have a gap here at 211. We have a gap here 216, and then we have a gap here at 221. Our target is this 20 SMA at 210. So that's where we want to get. Okay, we got some lottos there too. So if that pops off for some whatever reason, pops off tomorrow, and we get there, You know, that'd be those would pay. So we got in, but that's what this bull flag says. Target is the first target is 208. Second target is supposed to be 215 for this bull flag. So we'll see if it happens. We'll see if we get that. See if we get that pop off tomorrow. Okay. All right, Tesla already did. Okay, PLTR. All right. PLTR. Okay. All right, PLTR has been kind of chilling right here in this zone. It's holding above its 100, its 20 SMA, and its 50 SMA right here. It's consolidating. It looks good. It's above its 50 on the RSI. It has a little bull flag on the daily. Let's see, in the 4 hour here. Nice bull flag actually. So I mean, it looks good. It looks good. If it breaks out, it should be going to 98. Should be going 98 and 102 if it breaks out to the upside. If it comes back down, we go to 82. You come to 82.20, and if that doesn't hold, you go to 75, 74.40. 74.40. But I think it pushes up to 98 and then possibly 102, but 98 is the wall right there. Okay. 98 is that wall. Okay. Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin has been steadily trying to hold this wall right here, and it keeps getting rejected. Okay, it's holding the 200 SMA, okay, and it's pushing up. So if this could form that bull flag and fire over that 20 SMA, we could make that run to 88. Okay, tomorrow's gonna be a big thing for Bitcoin too. RSI still holding up there near 50, squeezes forming. So we're holding that 200. If we hold that, we break through, we come over here. If we don't, we get some bad news for whatever reason, we're going to 65,000. Okay. I'm positive, but I'm positive. I think this breaks out. That's why I'm long micro strategy, but and coin. But I think this needs to break that 84. Breaks that, we go higher. All right. All right, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for staying late with me, and I got out late. I'm sorry that happened. Next week I'll be regular time. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Night.